Welcome to episode 6 of Briggins TV. This week we interview Peter Ellis, school principal at Templestowe College, great Briggins client. Talks about the pressures of managing 130 staff and 1,200 students. Talks about social media, how it's affecting young kids today and the workforce and also men in general. And his key tips on how to become a better parent or father as well. So enjoy, look forward to chatting to you next week.
So my name is Peter Ellis. I'm principal here at Templestowe College. So Templestowe College, secondary school, so year 7 to 12, regarded as the most innovative school in Australia, possibly in the world. So yeah, here as principal, pretty privileged to be in that position. Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate. I feel pretty privileged to be in my position as principal of a school, but really I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher at heart. I just love working with young people, helping them to achieve to be the best they can be. It's a bit of a cliche that the kids are our future, but it's so true. Part of what makes me really drive on is that you see a young person grow as a person, but also their knowledge as well. Just that feeling of they're achieving something. It's pretty special, and I feel really privileged in my position to be able to make that happen. Yeah, it's really interesting. At our school here, there's about 130 staff that we work with, so pretty big organisation. And the thing for me is knowing each and every one of them. I know people on a personal level. I think that really helps. You've got to build that relationship first when working with people. That creates that kind of safety net, ready to then go and learn. It's really important. We really work about people. We want people to fail. You've got to fail to know where the limit is and to keep on pushing yourself. And so knowing people makes it safe, so that people understand that when they fail, they're not going to get told off, it's not repercussions. They can actually push themselves to be the best they can be. I spend quite a lot of time knowing what motivates people, because we've all got different drivers. Some people are in the job because they need a job, whereas others are deeply motivated by, say, a moral purpose as well. And so knowing everyone's motives, their rationale for being there, helps you to tap in and help them achieve their goals in line with kind of your organisation's goals as well. I think work-life balance is almost a thing of the past. What that indicates is there's a fine point that you have to have this balancing act, and if you get it wrong, then you're failing. I think that's a really key message that's out there, is that it's now about work-life integration and work-life interference. And it's really about, how do you make the two work together? Because the world's changing. So for me personally, I need time early in the morning, go to the gym, talk to people who have nothing to do with my school, so I can actually disconnect ahead of the day. Then I come in, and then I'm ready to go. I feel recharged, I've been to the gym, I'm ready to take on the day. And then at the end of the day, when I go home, because sometimes days can finish at 6, 7 o'clock, start about 7:30. So it's about working out how am I going to make the rest of that day integrate or interfere. I think that's the key thing. It's really hard because that whole notion of work-life balance makes us feel like we're failing most of the time. So that's where the world, I believe, has moved on. In a school there's traumatic events happening almost every minute. Because you've got 1,200 people, there's so much happening. And life isn't rosy all of the time. And for us, we have a saying. We say, let's take the time. So if something happens, we need to almost pause. And we need to think about that and just stop, take the time to look at the situation, look at what's going on, and actually say, well, we're not going to rush into any decisions, because you tend to find when you rush into a decision, it has negative repercussions. So there could be any situation in the school where any young person's feeling trauma. And we also look at it as any point of trauma or any crisis is a point you can have growth from. You can go two ways. You have your point of trauma, you could either go downwards into mental illness, or you can look at it and get some post-traumatic growth out of it. You can learn from what's happened, and you can look at it, well, let's look at the positives. This is something that we can grow from. How do we grow from this incident or what's happening? So we try to take that mind frame of this is not the end of the world. How can we actually look at this as a growth opportunity? I find with stress, I get a bit tired. Part of dealing with stress, to be a good leader, you've got to have high emotional intelligence. We're dealing with people all day, every day, and you have to be seen as kind of the rock of the organisation. So I know I get tired. I know in the past, in my leadership journey, I know I've been maybe a bit sarcastic at times. So it's about knowing now's a good time to bite my tongue and just sit back and listen. So when I get that stress, I become more quieter. I listen a bit more. Not that I don't listen normally, but I listen more. And then, I'll make sure it's about managing my own emotions, because people you're leading, they feed off your emotions, and you can have a big impact on others' day as well. I like to try and have that clear line between events. And I try to basically make sure I've reached a proper resolution on something as well, because that helps to put that away and put that to bed, so that you can move on to the next thing. You talk to a lot of teachers, a lot of leaders, they'll go to the automatic joke and they'll talk about wine as being the way out and the way to go. We all have different releases. It's so important that we all work out what is your release from that stress. Mine, go to the gym each morning. I walk the dog. I use that time to separate. It's almost like a transition zone between work and home. So when I'm ready, talk about that, when I'm ready to actually switch off, I'll go and take the dog for a walk. And I'll use that time, that clear, could be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just to use that as a transition point, a third zone between work and then home. It's really tough being a parent. It's a really tough grind to get through it. My advice is usually it gets better. You remember when you're a child, and we have a lot of students around that 12 to 15 age who they're going through some major things in their heads. The way their brains are kind of wired, they don't make good decisions. They're very impulsive. They're just more interested about the social side of life. They really care about others' views of them, and their brain develops over that time. So it's about being there to support them. It's about there having conversations, listening to them. Generally, Parent 101, you go to the grounding kids, taking away their privileges. That doesn't work. That just puts them off, right? You just got to talk to them like you would do an adult in a case. You got to be really clear around that and know that it does get better, and just show them that you're there to support them. Social media is a big issue for young people. It's huge, it's way bigger than we could ever have understood even 2-3 years ago. Young people see so much so quickly. They're there waiting to see if Instagram, they've got all these likes, and almost their life depends on it. They get a huge amount of likes on one post, and then they get hardly any on another. And it's like life, what's happened? It brings in that anxiety around what's done, what's going on. So it's around understanding that there's this whole social element driving on their whole life, and being there to talk to them and helping to push them through, and support them, and just know it does get better. Usually when we meet new parents, we say, look, one of the biggest bits of advice is about devices. Don't let them go up into the bedroom. Get into a good habit early, and it sounds like it's getting earlier and earlier for people as younger and younger people get access to iPads, mobile phones, computers. We say get into a habit, charge devices downstairs, because that's where we see all of our issues. When the device goes into the bedroom, that's when everything happens. So get into a good habit early, leave your device downstairs to charge. And around that is a really good way to get into good habits. It's hard to manage as well, because we then get on to some of the students, when they get older, their parents give them more privileges, take the computer up. So it's about learning that the notifications, they can wait till the morning. It's about getting that message in, that you don't have your phone next to you beeping every time you get a like, or every time someone posts something. It can wait till the morning. And that's a really key, important message about how to manage social media. It's interesting, because you get to a point, as students get older, parents back off more. And I think that's because adults, they're getting busier. People are busier in life. What we say as a school is, if you're finding time difficult, which everyone does, focus on the stuff at home. Right? We can do the education. You focus your time on being involved with your child, being active with them, talking with them, taking them out and doing things with them. And we can concentrate on the learning. We'll get you in when we know there's concerns, but if you're strapped for time, you concentrate at home. And so that's a really key message we have.